Welcome to $1,000 Car Guy. My name's Andrew, and for the last 14 years I've been buying and selling cheap cars. It started out as a hobby, but it has become an addiction. Addiction. You may own something amazing every now and then, but you always come back to what you know best. And for me, that's cheap cars. Follow me as I turn my addiction into profit, buying a cheap car, putting a few bucks into it, and flipping it for huge profit. Imagine wheeler dealers, chasing classic cars, and mighty car mods all rolled into one and forced to work on a budget of $1,000. Welcome to $1,000 Car Guy.
Greetings YouTube, and welcome to the first episode of $1,000 Car Guy. That's me, Andrew. I'll be your host. This is a show literally meant to feed my addiction, disguised as a show to make profit so that I can buy other cars to make more and more profit from. So as you saw in the opening sequence, I'm going to try and buy a car for around $1,000, on or about $1,000. The idea is that we'll take it home, do a little bit of work to it, clean it up a bit, make sure that it's ready and safe for the road, and then flip it for some more money, or another car. It doesn't really matter. As long as I'm moving up in the car world, then that's good. But the point is, it will always be a cheap and inexpensive car. You know, cheap, hence the word. So the idea is that we're about to go pick up the first car for the show. I'm not going to say what it is, you'll see it when we get there, but it will be a cheap car. Let me put it to you that way. All right, I'll check in when we get there. So, very important thing is going to be reflecting the VIN number of the vehicle against the actual number on the title. You want to make sure this is correct, otherwise you're going to have major problems. So the battery's dead, we're gonna have to jump start it, and then once we get it up on flat ground, I'm gonna pump the tires up full of air. Then we should be able to check a couple other little things and then head out on the road to get it back home. So the VIN number checks out, everything looks good to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you already gave me the keys. All right.
You already have the keys.
So we got the jumper cables hooked up. Remember, red to positive, black to negative. Let's go see if it starts now. A lot of unknowns with this purchase. It has about 50,000 more miles than I thought it did. Park. Yeah, it's alive. So now we got to get this car up on flat ground so I can fill up the tires with air. And Rory's gonna be making the maiden voyage home with me. So to anyone that doesn't have one of these things, I would highly recommend it. It's come in handy so many times. It just plugs into the cigarette lighter, and then you fill up your tires with it. I think they're only like 10 bucks on eBay. Alrighty, we just set off. Car's pretty filthy, but yeah, so we're going to get the car back to our house. That's the primary objective. The tires are all full. One of them was basically totally flat, so there may be a puncture in that one, but we can take care of it. Otherwise, look, it has a can holder big enough to fit my Monster Energy drink. Obviously, that's the number one thing you want in a vehicle. So we know we have a check engine light. We'll run the code scanner on it when we get home, but yeah, wish me luck. Okay, so a little background information on the car. I actually found it through a person that I work with. It's a great way to get good deals on things occasionally. Obviously, it's not always going to be a great deal, but if you know friends or family that's selling a vehicle, usually they'll sell it to you for a little less than they would on their own. So this car has 172,300 miles, and I bought it for $500. And it is running and driving. It does have a check engine light, but we'll find out what that is when we get it home. A few things that I know right off the bat. So this window doesn't seal. One of the rear doors doesn't open. The other side has a broken door handle but does open. As far as the drivetrain goes, it feels pretty solid. This is the Toyota 1.5 liter drivetrain, which is the same in the Scion XA XB. I did actually own a Scion XA for a while. It was supercharged, a lot of fun, but got rid of it because I wanted something a little faster. So I ended up with a 350Z. We'll get into my whole car history at some other time. They told me that the air conditioning doesn't work on this, so we're gonna have to look at that. But I do have a couple cans of Freon at home, so maybe we can throw a can in it today and see if that fixes the problem. Otherwise, it may be the compressor or the condenser. We'll find out. It does have 4 newer tires on it. They're probably only about 2 years old, but they haven't been used. The car apparently started to give them issues, so they just kind of set it to the side. But they didn't divulge what all those issues were, so we'll find out on our own, I imagine. This drive home should tell me quite a lot about the vehicle. So far in my first 1 mile, it's going good. I'll check in if anything happens. Sit rep, 10 minutes into the drive. That rearview mirror is gone. This one is pointed up at the sky. The window doesn't close all the way. The air conditioning certainly does not work. It also blew a bunch of dust into my mouth, which tasted terrible.
Coins! I found them in floor.
I know, there's lots of coins in here. We'll have to add up all the money that we find. Previous owner said that we could keep whatever we got, so that's nice. So we made it! Still check engine light, and I took my seatbelt off. But yeah, made it. Maybe some suspension issues we'll have to take care of, but now that we're home, the first thing I want to check is the AC. It'd be wonderful to find out that it was only low on Freon. Odds are it's not, but you know, we can dream. I love these light hoods. As Jay Leno always says, you've never made any more improvements beyond the stick. Yeah, you can have gas struts and automatic hoods and things, but the stick always works. So now what I'm going to do, start the car back up. Hopefully it starts. It's a good sign. And then for the AC, we're gonna push the AC button on. Whew! Put it on high. And then we're going to find the low port in the AC system. Wow, it's really putting a draw on the engine. So we're gonna find the low port and hook up our gauge and pressure line to it. Now that we got the line hooked up to the low port, we're gonna release the pressure inside the can to hopefully go into the motor. So I've personally never seen this before, but the pressure is off the chart. So let's do a quick Google search to find out what that is. Obviously, it's been a while since this car's had a cleaning. Look at the dirt blowing out of the vents. So now that we've relieved a bunch of pressure in the line, I'm going to start it back up, see what the pressure reads from there, and then we'll start to add the freon. There we go. I also don't think that the clutch is engaging right now anyway. Little hard to see down there, but it doesn't look like the clutch is engaged. So let's start to add our new freon in. We're now adding freon into the system. There you go. Clutch just started to engage. But our pressure reading is climbing very rapidly. My guess is this will not be a simple fix like I assumed. So the pressure gauge is only going up and up. So we're going to have to find another way to combat this. So like most things, the AC won't be a quick fix, but that's okay. This is the new project car for $1,000 Car Guy. This 2001 Toyota Echo with 172,000 miles. So it does need some work, obviously. That keeps coming up for whatever reason. So we're gonna have to look at the AC. We're also going to have to put the mirror back on. There is one in the trunk, but I think it's total. This door handle, kind of out, totally not engaged, but the door does work. So that's a bonus, but we'll have to figure out what's going on there. This side is relatively body damage free. This door handle is also loose, but the door does work. We're going to have to get rid of this old, disgusting window tint. You can't even see out of it. In fact, maybe, if we're lucky, no, that's a bigger project. We'll save that for another day. The seat's curling up at that end. That's kind of interesting. It will be going through an entire detail where we will find all the spare change and what other paraphernalia we find in the trunk. I thought that the right rear strut might have been bouncing around a bit, and it still might, but there's also the jack and spare tire moving around freely in the back.
as we move to the driver's side, it's a fairly nice sized dent right here. Another one in the door, but it's possible that with that shape we can get that out with the plunger. That should be a fun little clip. This door, no worko. I don't know if it opens up from the inside though. Ouch, hit my head. No, completely detached. Okay. Looks like there used to be some kind of either aftermarket anti-theft device or subwoofer sound system. I don't know. We want to get rid of any extra wires. Roll up windows. This window does not seal. My guess is it's off the track a bit because it's very hard to turn. Yeah, it's bound up and we got gaps all over the place. What can you say? $500 car, that's what you get. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Thanks for watching this episode of $1,000 Car Guy. I hope to see you on the next episode where we start to tackle more of the fun projects with this car. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.